Imagine your doctor telling you about a disease you're going to develop 5 years from now. Not as a vague possibility, but as a data-backed prediction. Imagine a hospital that knows exactly how many patients will walk through the emergency room doors on a Tuesday afternoon in July, ensuring there are always enough beds, doctors, and nurses ready. This isn't science fiction. This is the world being built right now by predictive artificial intelligence. AI is doing more than just crunching numbers. It's looking into the future of our health. By analyzing massive troves of data, from our medical records and genetic code to the real-time data from our smartwatches, these sophisticated algorithms are spotting patterns completely invisible to the human eye. They are finding the faint, early whispers of disease long before any symptoms appear. But how does a machine learn to predict something as complex and unpredictable as a heart attack or a cancer diagnosis? It's a story that involves trillions of data points and algorithms that learn and adapt, and it's completely changing what's possible in medicine. At its core, the most powerful use of predictive AI is seeing what's coming. Early detection can be the single most important factor in successfully treating many of the world's deadliest diseases, like cancer and heart disease. Traditionally, doctors rely on symptoms to start their investigation. You feel a lump, you get a persistent cough, you have chest pain. By then, the disease is already established. AI flips that script. It's a proactive watchdog, constantly scanning for risks. Take, for example, machine learning models that analyze medical images like X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs. These AIs are trained on millions of past images, learning to spot the tiniest, most subtle abnormalities that might signal the very beginning of a tumor. Abnormalities that even a trained radiologist might miss. One AI tool, for instance, can analyze a chest X-ray and predict cardiomegaly, or an enlarged heart, with a specific confidence level, giving doctors a crucial head start. It goes even deeper than images. By looking at a patient's entire electronic health record, lab results, doctor's notes, past illnesses, AI can build a comprehensive risk profile. It might notice a combination of slightly elevated heart rate, a small dip in oxygen saturation, and a low-grade fever that, to a busy doctor, might seem unrelated. But the AI, having analyzed data from millions of patients, recognizes this specific cluster as a potential early warning sign for sepsis. This ability to connect seemingly random dots is what makes predictive AI so revolutionary. It's not just about finding one clue, it's about seeing the entire constellation of risk factors. But identifying a single person's risk is one thing. What happens when you apply this predictive power to an entire population? The COVID-19 pandemic was a stark reminder of how quickly a new virus can bring the world to its knees. But what if we could see these outbreaks coming? Predictive AI is becoming our global immune system. And its first test case was actually years before COVID. An AI system called Blue Dot made headlines when it flagged an unusual cluster of pneumonia cases in Wuhan, China on December 31st, 2019. It did this 9 days before the World Health Organization released its official statement about a novel coronavirus. How did it know? The AI wasn't just looking at hospital data. It was scanning hundreds of thousands of sources every day. Global airline ticketing data, news reports in multiple languages, and even reports on animal and plant disease outbreaks. It connected the dots and saw a pattern that signaled a potential crisis. Modern AI models can now integrate even more data points like population density, travel patterns, and environmental conditions to forecast how and where a disease might spread. For instance, researchers at the University of Oxford have developed an AI model called Evescape. This tool can predict how a virus is likely to mutate to evade our immune systems, essentially giving scientists a preview of the next dominant variant. During the COVID pandemic, it successfully predicted which mutations would occur and which would become most prevalent. This kind of foresight is invaluable for developing vaccines and treatments that can keep up with a rapidly evolving pathogen. So AI can predict our personal health risks and even global health crises. But its predictive power is also being used to solve a problem that affects every single person who has ever had to visit a hospital: waiting. Anyone who has spent hours in a crowded emergency room or waited weeks for a specialist appointment knows that hospitals are incredibly complex systems with a lot of moving parts. Inefficiencies in this system don't just cause frustration, they can delay critical care. This is where predictive AI is starting to work as a hospital's central nervous system. Hospitals are now using AI to forecast patient flow with remarkable accuracy. By analyzing historical admission data, local events like concerts or holidays, and even seasonal trends like flu season, AI models can predict how many patients are likely to be admitted on any given day. This allows hospital administrators to optimize everything. They can schedule the right number of doctors and nurses, ensure enough beds are available, and manage their supply chains so they never run out of critical equipment. The result? Reduced wait times, fewer bottlenecks, and a less stressful experience for both patients and staff. The Cleveland Clinic, for example, developed a readmission risk score to predict the likelihood of a patient needing to be rehospitalized shortly after being discharged. By identifying these high-risk patients, the hospital can provide them with extra follow-up care and support, preventing a costly and often dangerous return trip to the hospital. Beyond just managing who comes and goes, AI is also helping to create perfectly tailored schedules. AI-driven scheduling systems can analyze provider availability, patient preferences, and the urgency of care to create the most efficient appointment calendars possible, minimizing no-shows and optimizing everyone's time. It's about transforming the hospital from a reactive environment that's constantly trying to catch up to a proactive one that's always one step ahead. But perhaps the most profound change AI is bringing isn't just predicting what will happen, but using those predictions to create treatments designed for one person and one person only. The concept of one-size-fits-all medicine has always been a compromise. We know that two people with the same disease can respond very differently to the same drug. The future of medicine is personalization, and predictive AI is the key to unlocking it. This is most evident in the field of genomics. Our DNA holds the blueprint for our bodies, including clues about which diseases we're susceptible to and how we'll metabolize certain medications. AI algorithms can now analyze a person's genetic information at a massive scale, identifying complex patterns that would take a human researcher a lifetime to find. For example, a health system can use AI to generate a polygenic risk score for conditions like heart disease. By analyzing thousands of small genetic variations, the AI can identify patients with a higher than average risk. Those patients can then receive proactive lifestyle coaching and increased monitoring, dramatically reducing their chances of having a heart attack or stroke. This personalization extends to treatment itself. In cancer care, AI can analyze the genetic makeup of a tumor and predict which chemotherapy drug or targeted therapy will be most effective. This saves precious time and spares patients from undergoing treatments that are unlikely to work. It's a shift from a trial and error approach to a precisely targeted one. The same technology is revolutionizing drug discovery. Instead of a slow, expensive process of lab-based trial and error, AI can simulate how millions of potential drug molecules would interact with a disease at a cellular level, identifying the most promising candidates in a fraction of the time. This not only accelerates the development of new life-saving drugs, but also helps find new uses for existing ones, a process called drug repurposing. But as we give AI more control over our health, from predicting our futures to designing our medicines, we have to ask some very important questions. What happens when the predictions are wrong? And is the data it's learning from fair to everyone? Predictive AI is undeniably ushering in a new era of healthcare. It's a future where medicine is more proactive, personalized, and preventative than ever before. We're moving from a system that treats sickness to one that actively promotes wellness. AI gives us the potential to spot diseases years in advance, to stop pandemics in their tracks, to run our hospitals with seamless efficiency, and to design drugs tailored to an individual's unique genetic code. The challenges of bias, privacy, and accountability are real, and they must be addressed with thoughtful regulation and unwavering ethical standards. But these are not reasons to halt progress. They are guardrails to ensure we build this future responsibly. The ultimate goal isn't to replace doctors with machines. It's to augment human expertise, to give our healthcare providers powerful new tools that can see what we cannot, and to free them from routine tasks so they can focus on what they do best, providing compassionate, human-centered care. The story of predictive AI in healthcare is just beginning, but it promises a future where we don't just react to illness, we anticipate it, we outsmart it, and we build a healthier world for everyone. If you found this look into the future of medicine fascinating, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world. Thanks for watching.